Hello people, today we are going to start lesson 2, okay, and right at the beginning we have a new verb tense, future perfect tense, okay. Well, we use the future perfect to show that one action will happen at some point between now and another point in the future. Okay? This is the future perfect. So, this action will happen after now, okay? And before another point in the future. Okay? Well, the construction is the easiest thing in a verb tense to memorize. Okay? So, it's future. So, we have will. Okay? It's perfect. So we have the verb. The auxiliary verb of perfect tenses is always have. Okay? And the third column, the past participle. Okay? Plus the third column, okay? The past participle of the irregular verb table. Remember that if the verb is regular, we just put D or ED at the end, okay? So, this, guys, is the construction, okay? Let's see how we use it, okay? We form, first the construction. We form the future perfect tense with subject, the person, will have, okay, plus the past participle, okay? So, one example here, I will have studied in this school for 3 years in 2020. We are in 2020, okay, but this book was written last year, so what does this sentence mean? This sentence means that I will study in this school, okay, from now until the year of 2020, okay? This will be happening in this period of time, okay? So, we use the future perfect tense to show that an action will happen at some time between now and a time in the future. Okay? So, the example here is, I will have finished my homework by 9 o'clock. So, it means that I am doing my homework, or I will start doing my homework now. Before 9 o'clock, it will be finished. So, I will have finished my homework by 9 o'clock. Before 9 o'clock. Okay? This sentence means that I will finish my homework at some point between these times, now and 9 o'clock. Okay? This means that my homework will be finished before 9 o'clock. Go? We make questions in the future perfect tense by inverting the auxiliary verb will and the subject, just like the other verb tenses. Will I have finished my homework by 9 o'clock? We make negative sentences in the future perfect using will not or won't, which is the contraction. Very good. Example, I won't have finished my homework by 9 o'clock. Okay, guys? So, we can also use other modals. May, might, or should. Remember, they show possibility. Okay? To talk about actions that will possibly or probably happen between now and a point in the future. For example, call me on my mobile because we may have left by midnight. It's a possibility, okay? my homework by 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. Probably. Okay? The most probable situation is that I finish my homework before 9 o'clock. That's when I use should. Okay, guys? So, new content, page 20. Okay? To disconnect, handheld, hands-free, alternative, a plug, a socket, caffeine, a pattern, to be concerned, a concern, to devote, dependent, permission, to form, to foresee, to perceive, to expect. Okay, guys. To disconnect, to connect. Okay? We know the word connection. It's the name of the school. Remember? Connection. Internet connection. If we disconnect the cables, the internet cables, internet doesn't work, right? So, disconnect is the opposite of connect. Okay? Okay, handheld, hands-free. They're opposites. Okay? So, handheld is when you have a device that you need to use your hands to operate it. For example, most cell phones are handheld. You need to hold it, you need your fingers to type, okay? Most phones. But also, most of the phones, they have equipment, they have gear that we can connect to the phone to transform it in a hands-free device, okay? So, one example is, when we are talking on the phone, we put the phone here, right? To listen to the person so they can listen to us, okay? But all the phones nowadays, they have a function which is called speaker, okay? You can put the phone on the table, okay? You press the speaker button and you talk to the person without your hands, without using your hands, okay? Another example are these new things that are coming to the market nowadays, which you talk to your phone or to another equipment. Google has this service. Okay, so if you say, okay Google, and ask them a question, or ask them to call someone, or ask them to buy bread for you, he will do it. Okay, this is hands-free technology. Okay, hands-free, no hands involved. Hands held, things that you need your hands to operate. Alternative, just like Portuguese. A plug or a socket. They are the same thing, okay? Plug in England, socket in America. A plug or a socket, guys, they are on the wall, okay? And are those little holes on the wall where electricity comes out of, okay? So, to charge our phones, we have to put the charger or the phone connected to the charger into a socket. Or if you are in England, you're going to put it into a plug. So it will charge with electricity. Very good. Caffeine, very similar to Portuguese, is the most important element, the most important part of coffee. Okay? Caffeine. A pattern. A pattern, guys, can be a particular way of how things are done or how things happen. Okay? For example, every day the old man goes out of the house and goes to the bakery to buy bread. He goes every day at the same time. He buys the same amount of bread. Okay, so these guys, repetitive things, can be described as a pattern, okay? It's a pattern of behavior. He does the same things at the same time every day, okay? Or a pattern also is mentioned, for example, in serial killers. Serial killers, normally they are identified as serial killers because they have patterns. They do things every time the same way, okay? Or a pattern, guys, can also be a design, okay, on clothes or on the wall, okay? A design. For example, my clothes are plain. They are white, they have no pattern. They are plain, okay? Pattern is when there is a design or something on your clothes. To be concerned means the same as to be worried, okay? When you care about somebody, and that somebody is in trouble, for example, you are concerned, you are worried. Concern is the noun. To devote is just like Portuguese. For example, there are people who devote their whole lives to the church, priests, nuns, okay? To devote, similar to Portuguese. Or many people devote their weekends to cooking, could be too, okay? Dependent is just like Portuguese, permission is just like Portuguese, to form, just like Portuguese, a verb. To form means to give a shape, to give a form to something. To foresee. Guys, to foresee means to see before. Okay? For example, if I put a glass right here at the edge, okay, at the border of the shelf, okay? You could say, oh, I foresee that glass will fall, okay? To perceive means to notice, okay? To become aware of something. And to expect is very similar to Portuguese, okay? It's when you are waiting for something and with some expectation, which is also similar to Portuguese. Cool, guys? Very good. Let's repeat. He will have disconnected his life from social media for 3 months by Friday. The alternative to using a handheld device when driving is to use a hands-free device. His mother won't have given him permission to go to the party by tomorrow, I'm sure. How long will you have had concerns about your daughter's behavior for by the next parents' meeting? Rachel will have foreseen how much content she needs to write already. They won't have expected the surprise party you have planned for them. He will have been concerned about her being dependent on caffeine for more than a month by the time they go to the clinic. Very nice, guys. So, let's practice. Remember to pause the video before I read the answer, okay? You try to answer for yourselves. What will you have devoted most of your free time to doing by the end of this year? I will have devoted most of my free time to my son by the end of this year. Will somebody have created an alternative to charging your phone with a plug by 2025? Yes, somebody will have created an alternative to charging my phone with a plug by 2025. Why are some doctors concerned about the amount of coffee people drink? Some doctors are concerned about the amount of coffee people drink because coffee is a drink that contains high levels of caffeine. Who do you need to ask permission for in order to go to the bathroom during class? I need to ask the teacher for permission to go to the bathroom during class. Is there a pattern to most lessons in the dynamic English method? Yes, there is a pattern to most lessons in the dynamic English method. Do you think your teacher will have foreseen your next test result before the end of this book? Yes, I think my teacher will have foreseen my next test result before the end of this book. How can you perceive if someone has been crying? I can perceive if someone has been crying if their eyes are red. Will Rachel have devoted a lot of her time to helping people learn English by the time she is 40 years old? Yes, Rachel will have devoted a lot of her time to helping people learn English by the time she is 40 years old. Is it a good thing for students to be dependent on translating words before speaking in English? No, it isn't a good thing for students to be depending on translating words before speaking in English. Will your national government have formed new laws by the end of next year? Yes, my national government will have formed new laws by the end of next year. Will Sarah have any new concerns when she starts working? Yes, Sarah will have some new concerns when she starts working. What do we call the type of joint our hip and shoulders have? The type of joint our hip and shoulders have is called a socket. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to explain at the beginning. A socket is also how we call the joints that do this, okay? Like the knee, like the shoulder, not the knee, sorry. Like the shoulder and the hips. Because the bone, they fit like this, okay? This is also called a socket. We will have drunk a drink that contains caffeine before you work or study tomorrow. Yes, I will have drunk a drink that contains caffeine before I work tomorrow. What will you have expected to happen by tomorrow in your life? I will have expected to have a nice night of sleep by tomorrow in my life. Are the sockets in the USA the same as the sockets in the UK? No, the sockets in the USA aren't the same as the sockets in the UK, but they are different. And in Brazil they are different too, right? Do doctors look at patterns of behavior when investigating a mental illness a patient might have? Yes, doctors look at patterns of behavior when investigating a mental illness a patient might have. What will you have been concerned about the most by the end of this year? I will have been concerned about the coronavirus the most by the end of this year. What will Olivia have devoted most of her time by the end of this month? Livia will have devoted most of her time to studying for her university exams by the end of this month. Will you have charged and unplugged your phone by tomorrow morning? Yes, I will have charged and unplugged my phone by tomorrow morning. Okay guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay? So, see you. Bye-bye.